This week we're going to take a look at what I call the B.B. King voice box. And people always call it the B.B. King box, but to me, this area of the neck and how he plays in it, it allows his playing to sound really vocal. I always contended that the best blues guitar players are the guys that we know who also sing on their recordings. If you look at the Chicago blues guys from the 50s and 60s, you know, and B.B. King and, you know, like the traditional guys, not any of them are really have been brought to our attention without actually being the lead singer on their album, with the exception of maybe Hubert Sumlin. And I think that most of these guys have these great unique styles because that's how they hear when they sing. If you hear B.B. King go, every day I've got the blues. All right, you know, it's very much like one melodic sensitivity that they either sing with or they sing through the instrument with. And this kind of goes back to us making sure that everything we play on the guitar is something we already kind of hear in our mind's ear, which is kind of a through theme for me when I teach. And so we're going to get started with this. It's not going to be the longest lesson. There's the downloadable backing track attached with this, and it's what I play over in the beginning. And remember to subscribe, and I'm available for private Skype lessons also. Just contact me through any of the platforms you see this on. Okay, so we're going to be doing this in the key of A. All right, and one of the things to remember is that with B.B. King, to me, he was one of the earliest guys to actually start using the major pentatonic scale sounds over the one chord in a blues. So the beginning part of this box, we're going to have the 9th and 10th frets on the 3rd string. Now the 9th fret isn't something that normally is played, but you know, he'll actually use it. He'll use the idea down there when he plays in the other part of the fretboard. So to me, I'm going to add it here because, and you even see me use that as a resolution point in the demonstration video. All right, so you got 9 and 10 on the 3rd string, or 9 and 11, and then you've got 10 and 12 on the first 2 strings. The root is the 10th fret on the 2nd string. All right, great starting point is you're playing the 11th fret on the 3rd string and then playing the 10th. Now this is the 6th of the scale, so it's not a good resolution point for most of what we're doing. But this guy back here, that's the 5th of the scale. So that works pretty nicely for a lot, you know, if you're trying to build phrases. But it is a great jumping off point for your phrases, this guy here. So you got the root, the 2nd, and the 2nd, this guy here wants to be bent up to either the major 3rd of the chord or up to the 4th. So you can do that combination bend where I go up to there, and it's going to sound almost like that, but it sounds much cooler with the bend. The other thing is if you're playing over the 4 chord, right, you can play this as a minor box by taking this note and pushing it out to the minor 3rd here on the 13th fret, 2nd string. All right, and that works pretty well there. And then the bend, you can either do a whole step to the 4th or a step and a half to the 5th. And that's more of an Albert King-ism, not a B.B. King-ism, but I like it a lot. And it's actually not, even though you're thinking, wow, it's a really wide bend, if you're bending from back here, it's really not that hard. Just keep the finger arched so it's transmitting the force directly to the string, and push from back here. It gives you a lot of vocaltility, I guess we'll call it, in there. And then the last part of the box is on the 1st string. You've got the 4th of the scale, and you've got the 5th. Now, if I'm using these guys, I might go down through them. I might bend on the 2nd string, 12th fret, and then bounce off the 4th, which is the same as going, which is a really nice way to actually make a phrase happen. That's a step and a half bend to get to the next note in the scale. All right, so that's the 12th fret, step and a half bend, 5/4, and the minor 3rd, and then the root. All right. If you end everything to the root, it starts sounding kind of boring, except for the fact that B.B. King did that a lot. All right, you just got to listen to how he does it, listen to how you do it, and make sure that what you're doing actually builds a phrase that makes sense for you. All right, so this little box here that we have, you should be able to play phrases. And if you notice in the example video, I'd play a simple, you know, every day I've got the blues. Every day I've got the blues. All right, you know, the way the phrases work, and we're going to talk about this in a later lesson, mean that you have like kind of a question, and then you answer it. All right, and if you build your solos like that, suddenly using this little box makes more sense, because a lot of times I'll give this to people and they'll be like, you know, well, why can't I play blues with that? And it's not that you've got the right notes or the wrong notes, but it's that you're actually using it to build melodies. And that goes back to me talking about these guys being great vocalists. Listen to how they sing. Try and emulate how they sing with the notes in this pattern. Try and sing yourself. Doesn't have to sound pretty, but you want to get these melodic ideas in your head. So in your solo, I don't know what lyric that would be. Every day I've got the blues. Right, something simple like that. So work with this. This is the first box. The next one we're going to do is going to be the one like the Albert King, Stevie Ray Vaughan, Freddie King, like that kind of thing. But we've got it here, and then we may also explore the idea that you can play this all over the fretboard. So lesson 2 in this series is going to be one of those two concepts, and then we're going to explore the other one pretty shortly thereafter.